Good evening and welcome inside the Pat Sullivan Center here in the campus University of St. Francis. We're ready to kick the season off. Fighting Saints basketball. The men's team takes on East-West today, and the tip is won by St. Francis. They will get the ball first. Thanks for tuning in to today's broadcast. Terry Bonadonna on the play-by-play as the Saints look to start things off 1-0, facing their rivals from Chicago. East-West comes into town, and Joey Bujemi fires a three on the first possession. It hits off the backboard on the shot clock on the deflection off the rim. And so it is out of bounds, and it goes to East-West as they get their first possession of the game. Jaquan Jackson leads the charge, the junior transfer from Parkland College for East-West. He passes off to his left. This is Dobbs bouncing down low. Baseline jumper is good from Caleb Thomas. And East-West strikes first today. They lead 2-0. East-West in navy blue, going from left to right for the first 20 minutes of today's game. You heard the starting lineups for the Fighting Saints. Russell Tillery, Carlos Tobias, Joey Bujemi, E.J. Charles, and Lewis Holy. And that's the senior guard Tillery knocking down the short jumper and tying the game at 2. Russell Tillery, a graduate student from Portland, Oregon, transferred here for his senior season last year and now using his extra year of eligibility, as are Lewis Holy and Carlos Tobias in this starting lineup. So a very veteran lineup. 3 of the 5 starters are in their 5th year as the three-pointer misses from the top of the key, and Bujemi tracks down the rebound. Here's Russell Tillery driving from the left wing, shovels it out to Bujemi and right back to Tillery. Saints will reset from the top of the key. It's Bujemi passing to the left and Carlos Tobias. St. Francis works it around the perimeter on this possession. Shot clock down to about 10 as Bujemi fires a long-range 3 and knocks it down. Joey Bujemi strikes for his first 3 of the night, first 3 of the season. St. Francis lost a couple of exhibition games against Division I opponents. As Jaquan Jackson with some nifty ball work passes out to Luis Baez. Baez misses on the 3. Battle for the rebound down low. It's grabbed by Demel Dallas and kept alive for East-West. Nice work by Dallas. Jackson fires the 2-pointer from the free throw line and knocks it down. Good possession for East-West, primarily Demel Dallas battling on the offensive glass. 5-4, St. Francis has the lead just underway here. Tobias drives, bounces down low to E.J. Charles, who fights one up and misses. He grabs his own rebound, blocked by Dobbs. Picked up by Tobias. He can't put it through, but Charles is there with the tip-in. Third chance of the possession. They missed their first 2 shots, but back-to-back offensive rebounds allows St. Francis to get 2 more on the scoreboard. They've scored on 3 consecutive possessions now. Spinning towards the paint, Caleb Thomas picks up his dribble, gives it up to Luis Baez. Worked around to the right side. This is Taraze Dobbs. Dobbs backs in, turnaround jumper no good. Rebounded by Charles. E.J. Charles pushing it up the floor himself. Now he picks up his dribble and passes off to his right. Tobias, a good shooter, receives it on the right sideline and kicks it across court to Russell Tillery. Saints slow things down here. Tillery guarded by Dobbs as East-West plays a zone defense. Charles down low, off the glass and in. Nice work underneath the basket by E.J. Charles. That's 4 consecutive possessions for the Saints in which they've scored. And 2 of those buckets belong to the junior E.J. Charles, the lone junior in this starting lineup. The other 4 are seniors. Here's Jackson with a 3-pointer. He hits it. Caleb Thomas, rather, on the 3-pointer, crossing over to his left. First long-range jumper for East-West today. They trail by 2. Joey Bujemi on the left wing, up top to Lewis Holy. Holy fires it to the right side, Russell Tillery. Bujemi looks to Holy in the post, instead finds Charles down low. Charles against Dobbs, rolls it in. 6 points for E.J. Charles. He has been tough to stop inside so far for East-West. 11-7, Saints off to a very hot offensive start. Thomas drives, throws it high off the glass and does not get the bounce. Here comes Tillery the other way, all the way down the lane and to the basket with the finger roll. Russell Tillery lays it in and gives the Saints their biggest lead in the young match so far, a 6-point advantage, and a timeout is called by Tommy Posley, the longtime head coach of East-West University. And here we are at 15 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the first half. We've got our first stoppage. Very smooth action going up and down the floor so far today in St. Francis, on the strength of some hot shooting early on, has a 6-point advantage. They are 6 of 9 from the field, and they've also got a couple of offensive rebounds. Only once today have they come up empty on an offensive possession. That was the first one of the game. 6 points already and 3 rebounds for E.J. Charles, who's really off to a strong start this evening. Charles in his second year with the St. Francis program, looking to step up this season after he was effective when he was on the floor last year, but ran into a lot of foul trouble. If he can get that part of his game cleaned up, he could be a big player for St. Francis this season. 13-7, the Saints lead, 4.5 minutes into the 40-minute match. And Kwani Jackson is the ball handler for East West, taking it across the timeline and guarded all the way by Russell Tillery. Off to the right side, this is Demel Dallas, the top returning scorer for East West from a season ago. Caleb Thomas put up some good numbers for East West last season as well, as Jaquan Jackson steps into a three-pointer and knocks it down from the left wing. East West 2 of 4 from beyond the arc so far. Bujemi tries to respond. His shot rims out, and the rebound goes to Demel Dallas. Dallas, the sophomore forward, hands it off to Caleb Thomas. Kicked out to Jackson. He'll try from the right side this time, and he ties the score. Back-to-back three-pointers for Daquani Jackson. He's hit one from both wings, and it's 13 all here, as the timeout for East West seems to have paid quick dividends. Tobias to Tillery. Russell Tillery off to Tobias on the left side. He drives with the left hand into some traffic, pushes it up anyway, and in. Nice work by Carlos Tobias in a sea of blue shirts. He's able to float one up and in. First 2 of the game for Tobias. I think that his second field goal of the game. I had it right the first time. It was his first. So he's got 2 points. Jackson cannot answer with the floater on the other end. Holy is able to track down the rebound. Charles to Tillery as the Saints try to push the pace here. Nice dish from Tobias to Holy, and Holy is able to finish with the lay-in. His first 2 points of the game. And a beautiful assist for Carlos Tobias, the senior guard. So after a 6-0 run from East West, tied the score. Saints right back in front, 17-13 now, as the layup from Dobbs cuts into that lead and makes it a 1-score game. A lot of offensive action early in this one. We're 6.5 minutes in. Already 32 total points on the board. Bujemi wide open for 3. It's good. Joey Bujemi struggled from beyond the arc early on, but that's his second made three-pointer of the game. 2 for 4 from the outside. A 5-point lead for St. Francis. Here's Luis Baez backing in. Out to Dobbs. He's all alone for 3, but can't connect. The rebound goes to Tobias. Here comes Tillery, a little out of control. He's able to float it up anyway and can't quite put it down. It was halfway down the rim, it seemed, before it popped out. But some ball control issues for Daquani Jackson lead to a turnover. Now it's 2-on-1. Bujemi to Tillery, and a foul called before Tillery's layup on East West. This one goes on Tarazay Dobbs. And it is on the floor. First foul of the game at the 12:49 mark of the first half. This is the first in-game stoppage we've had today. We have been flying through. The pace has been exceptional early on today. There was a timeout earlier, but other than that, the game had not been stopped for any reason, and now finally a live action stoppage, and that allows the Saints to bring in some subs. Rihanna Maxwell-Topia is in the game with Carter Fahey. Lewis McGlasson, the freshman from Scotland, makes his first appearance here at St. Francis, as does Darius Wright, the transfer from Florida Tech. And Jake Carley is in as well. So 5 new players for the Fighting Saints, who went with 5 returners in the starting lineup. And now a brand new group on the floor as they'll inbound with Darius Wright firing from the baseline. Wright lobs it into Jake Carley. Carley off to the right side. Darius Wright for 3, a little bit long. And the rebound falls into the hands of Luis Baez. Tommy Posley did not use that first stoppage in action to bring on some subs. They've got a stacked bench there, but he sticks with the starters. They've been on the floor for 7.5 minutes so far. Baez backing in on Fahey. Turnaround with a right hand. Does not get the roll, and Rihanna Maxwell-Topia soars for the rebound. A takeaway for East-West. Dobbs gets the steal, but it was Demel Dallas who initially reached his hands in and deflected that one. Here's Dallas down low out to Jackson. Jaquan Jackson guarded by Jake Carley away from the basket. Here's Dobbs dribbling from the top of the key. Step back jumper, misses short. Rebound Carter Fahey. Scoring has slowed down a little bit over the last couple of minutes. Now with the subs on the floor for St. Francis. Maxwell-Topia from the corner misses the three-pointer short, and Luis Baez comes down with the rebound. East-West chooses to slow it down a little bit here. They've been moving at a very brisk pace, both teams have. But now Jaquan Jackson takes some time to set up the offense. Shot clock half gone. Here's Caleb Thomas. Guarded by McGlasson away from the basket. Passes off to the left side. On the three-point line, Jaquan Jackson passes away from the shot. 3 to shoot. Dobbs fires up a desperate shot and gets it to go. Tarazay Dobbs hits the three-pointer with the shot clock expiring. Had to force one up. He wanted a foul called as well. Didn't get the call. But they'll get this call as Darius Wright, a little indecisive on that pass. He took a step before throwing it away. And so traveling is the call. With 11:05 to go in the first half, it's a 2-point game. St. Francis has led by as many as 6. The Phantoms led just once at 2-0. Fighting Saints have gone 2.5 minutes, though, since their last basket. East-West trying to cut into the deficit and look for the tie. Jackson misses on the 15-foot jumper. Fahey takes it the other way. Fahey down to the corner for Carley. Out to Lewis McGlasson. McGlasson, nice drive. Pulls up just inside the free throw line and banks in the jumper. First points for Lewis McGlasson, who led the team in scoring in their exhibition loss at Northern Illinois University last week. First points of the regular season for McGlasson. There's a travel on Luis Baez, who dragged his pivot foot before putting up the shot. That's a turnover for East-West. We haven't seen a lot of turnovers in today's game. It has been clean going both ways. That's just the second on East-West. St. Francis has committed 2 as well. Fahey double-teamed inside, puts it up anyway, misses, but grabs his own rebound. And on the second effort, Carter Fahey is able to score his first 2 points. Fahey makes it a 6-point lead for St. Francis, and this matches their biggest edge so far tonight. We're about halfway through this first half. Bounce down low to Luis Baez. Baez in the post against Fahey, passes out to Caleb Thomas. Dobbs, step back jumper over Maxwell-Topia, misses it, and the rebound goes to Fahey. Fahey across half court, slows it down and passes to Jake Carley. Maxwell-Topia had an open look, fakes the shot though, and passes into the corner for McGlasson. His three-pointer is an air ball. It may have grazed the rim. Missed by a lot though. Here's Caleb Thomas on the drive, the other end. Pull-up jumper misses. McGlasson grabs the board. Both teams have started to struggle a little bit more with their shot. Three-pointer McGlasson is good. And stand corrected. Timeout called by East-West. They face their biggest deficit of the night, 27-18. St. Francis is on top. 9:06 to play in the first half. It's just a 30-second timeout. Lewis McGlasson now has 5 points on 2 of 3 shooting off the St. Francis bench. And as he typically does early in the season, head coach Ryan Marks for the Fighting Saints is getting a good look at a number of his reserves. This year, a little bit less turnover than we've become accustomed to seeing. Ryan Marks likes to bring in a lot of transfers, so there's usually a lot of new talent on the team, and that is the case this year as well, but most of the starters are back from a season ago. 4 out of 5 starters are still with the team. Lewis Holy is the only one in the lineup tonight who was not a regular starter last year. He was the top man off the bench a season ago, and he was their starting center 2 seasons ago, so it is not an unfamiliar position for him to be in the starting lineup. So a lot of minutes are up for grabs on the bench. And I'm sure we'll see a lot of guys who are fighting for those minutes throughout tonight's game. As for East-West, they've made their first substitution of the game, as DeAndre Lockett, the freshman from Roosevelt High School, is in there, number 30. And after 11 minutes of riding his starters, first time we've seen a reserve for East-West. Caleb Thomas fires a three-pointer from the left side, rolls around the rim but does not fall. Jake Carley takes it the other way for St. Francis, and he hands it to Darius Wright. Wright walks it to the right side, lobs down low right into the hands of Daquan Jackson, who gets the steal. Jackson bounces to his left, and we've got a foul on the shot, and the basket is good. Chance for a three-point play for Demel Dallas, as the Saints are called for their first foul. 8 minutes, 26 seconds to play in the first half, and that's just the second total foul we've seen. Dallas's free throw is good. It is a three-point play. And that snaps a 7-0 St. Francis run that had built a 9-point lead for them. 27-21 our score. Here's Darius Wright driving with the left hand. Pull up from the left elbow. Does not fall. Close one there for Darius Wright. Didn't quite have the roll on the rim that he wanted. Here comes Daquan Jackson. Driving, bouncing down low for Dallas. And Dallas is fouled going up. So after not committing a foul for the first 11-plus minutes, the Saints have now committed 2 in the last 25 seconds. And both have gone to Demel Dallas and sent him to the free throw line. He's got 2 shots coming up this time. Dallas makes his first. He's 2 of 2 from the line. First foul on Carter Fahey. Darius Wright has one as well, as Joey Bajemi checks back in for Fahey. Jake Carley checks out as well, and we get our first look here at Jalen Bates. Bates, the sophomore transfer from Hines Community College, originally from Mississippi. Second free throw lands on the rim for a long time and finally falls out. So the Saints take possession up by 5. Dallas goes 1 of 2 from the line on that possession. Joey Bajemi to the free throw line. Rihanna Maxwell-Topia forces his way inside and scores over DeAndre Lockett. Nice move by Rihanna Maxwell-Topia. Maxwell-Topia has his first 2 points of the night. This is Caleb Thomas, guarded by McGlasson. Thomas hands it off to his left. Daquan Jackson, the point guard, back in control. Jackson against Wright. Puts the ball on the floor, crosses over to the left side and travels. Took a little skip after he picked up his dribble there. Didn't like the call, but it is a turnover. The third of the game for East-West. Here's Joey Bajemi for St. Francis. Bajemi passes up top to McGlasson. Right, down low for Jalen Bates. Bates fires inside. Rihanna Maxwell-Topia. Good ball movement by the Saints. McGlasson drives, kicks. Rihanna Maxwell-Topia lays it in. Good possession for St. Francis. Looked lost a couple of times, but they kept the ball on the move and ultimately found the open shooter inside. 9-point lead for the Fighting Saints. They have led pretty much the entire way here in the first half. Drive from Jaquan Jackson. His pass nearly intercepted, picked up by Baez. Hook shot misses. Offensive rebound. DeAndre Lockett puts it up and in. The second offensive rebound of the night for East-West. It leads to the field goal. 7-point game. Lewis McGlasson in the corner. Flips it across court to Bajemi. Darius Wright, top of the key. Three-pointer, too strong. Rebound taken away by Bates. Jalen Bates' layup is blocked by Baez. Bates took that rebound right away from Baez. Impressive play, but Baez got him back with the block. Now Daquan Jackson misses on the quick layup on the other end. 2-on-1 for the Saints, and McGlasson lays it in. Off the feed from Joey Bajemi. Nice work by Bajemi and McGlasson. Saints up by 9 once again. This matches their biggest lead of the game. They've been at 9 a couple of times now. Baez, open three-pointer, off the mark, rebound right. And the Saints don't want to slow it down here. Right, though, guarded closely by Jaquan Jackson, does have to impede the motion a little bit. Maxwell Topia kicks it out to McGlasson. Open three is good. Big first half for Lewis McGlasson off the bench. He's got a game-high 10 points. And the lead is up to 12 for the Fighting Saints. 10 points off the bench for McGlasson, 4 of 5 shooting in just 7 minutes played. Here's Baez. Baez works around one defender and scores off the glass. Nice work by Luis Baez. He's got 4 points. Check that, first 2 of the game for Baez. McGlasson passes to Maxwell Topia, nearly behind him, but he brought it in. Passed off to Bates, and Bates knocks down the baseline jumper. Saints continue to be extremely efficient offensively. 57% from the field so far in this game. Here's Jaquan Jackson bouncing down low to Baez. Baez up with the left hand, misses on the hook. Rebound tapped right back out to Baez. Jumper from the free throw line, short. Another chance for East-West. This time it's Caleb Thomas. He misses. 3 misses on the possession for the Phantoms. Joey Bujemi needs help, and he calls timeout. 4:06 to play in the first half, 38-26. St. Francis has the lead in an incredibly quickly moving first half. There have been just 3 total fouls. There have been 6 total turnovers. The ball hasn't even been lost out of bounds all that much. Stoppages in live action have been exceedingly rare in this first half. This is the 3rd time we've seen a timeout. First one called by the Fighting Saints. They have led this one since the opening minutes. East-West scored the first points, and that was it. Since then, it's been all Fighting Saints, led by Lewis McGlasson's 10 points. But they have gotten contributions offensively from 9 different players already. Everyone who's been out there has scored, save for Darius Wright and Jake Carley. Starters back in for the Fighting Saints for the most part. Tobias, Tillery, Charles return to the floor. Bates is still out there. Only Lewis Holy among the starters remains on the bench. Tillery down to the corner for Charles. Charles' interior pass to Bates is deflected, taken away. Lob down the floor. Layup is good for for Jaquan Jackson. Jackson gets his first 2. 38-28 to score. Tobias lobs it up to half court for Bujemi, who is bumped by Jackson. Very aggressive defense here for East-West. They've picked it up considerably over the last couple of minutes. Lewis Holy does check in now for Jalen Bates, so all 5 starters are on the floor for the Fighting Saints. 3.5 minutes to play in the first half. Tillery on the outside. Fires it down to Bujemi. Bujemi drives, backs out. Double teamed. He kicks it to Carlos Tobias. Tobias, pull up from the left side is good. About 12 feet out, Carlos Tobias knocks down the jumper. 4 points for the senior guard. Tobias had some big shots in the loss to the University of Illinois down in Champaign a couple of weeks ago. One of the best returning shooters for the Saints as E.J. Charles comes up with a block of Troy Cobb. Big defensive play for Charles. Here's Tillery on the left side, driving into the paint, kicks it into the corner. Tobias for 3, good. 5 in a row for Carlos Tobias. The lead is up to 15 for St. Francis. Here's Jaquan Jackson. Jackson drives on Tillery, down low, contact. Cannot finish the play, but he'll go to the line for 2 shots. (43-28) is our score. St. Francis has had a balanced attack to lead to a big first half advantage. 9 different players have scored. They've used 11 guys. And of the 9 who have scored, 6 of them have at least 2 field goals. Jaquan Jackson makes the first free throw. That's 9 points for Jackson, leading the way for East-West, who's had a pretty balanced attack themselves. 6 of the Phantoms have put the ball in the basket at some point today, including Jackson, who's now got 10. It ties him with Lewis McGlasson for a game high. And an interception for Jackson as he takes away the pass from Bujemi. Charles comes in from behind and swats it away. Charles lobs down the floor for Tobias. Three-pointer, no good. Put back misses from Charles, grabs his own rebound. Second effort for E.J. Charles is good. Third chance on the possession for the Fighting Saints. Offensive rebounds have been big for St. Francis today. They've got 7 of them. The lead is back to 15. Pass deflected, out of bounds, last touch by East-West. That was Jaquan Pearson looking for Divine Conley unsuccessfully. The court press is on from the East-West reserves. Their starters stepped back a little bit defensively, but now with the bench on, Tommy Posley calling for a little bit more pressure, and the Saints get it across half court just in time. Lewis Holy streaks to the basket and lays it in off a good feed from Russell Tillery. 4 points for Holy to go along with 3 rebounds and a pair of assists. Big lead in the first half for the Fighting Saints as we near halftime. Poked away by Tillery, who dives on the floor. Now Charles comes in and takes it away. Tobias ahead to Bujemi. Joey Bujemi does not finish, but he's fouled by Divine Conley. Great defensive hustle from the Fighting Saints. Tillery started it off. Charles finished it, and then Tobias was there to pick up the loose ball. 2 free throws from Joey Bujemi, who's a very good shooter from the line. He makes the first. Neither team anywhere close to the bonus here in the first half. Just 3 fouls on each side. Kurt Shannon is in for East-West. First time he's been out there today. Rehana Maxwell-Topia checks in for the Fighting Saints. E.J. Charles grabs a seat. Second free throw is good from Bujemi. He goes 2 of 2. And the Saints bring in another sub with Russell Tillery sitting down. Nadav Gerner, the sophomore, comes in. Gerner was the prime backup at point guard a season ago. He gets his first action of this young season. Here's Jaquan Jackson driving on Gerner, pulls up in the paint, kicks it outside. Long 2-pointer from Conley is good. Just inside the 3-point line, Conley is able to knock it down. And with under a minute to play, the Saints take over with the big lead. Here's Tobias. He finds Bujemi, thought about the long 3, instead kicks it out to Gerner. Gerner fakes, shovels inside to Maxwell-Topia. Maxwell-Topia puts it up inside and scores. Saints are halfway to 100. Here's Jaquan Pearson. Pearson driving with the left hand, kicks it out to the wing. 3-pointer misses. And the rebound tracked down by Gerner. That shot came from Troy Cobb, the 6'5" tall freshman. And the shot clock is off for the Fighting Saints. They can take the last shot of the half here. Bujemi over to Gerner. Saints trying to slow things down. East-West is trying to speed them up. Kurt Shannon applies the pressure on Gerner against a double team. Kicked out to Tobias. Open 3 is good. Carlos Tobias all alone for 3. Knocks down his second 3-ball of the half. 2 seconds to go before the intermission. The 3-pointer at the buzzer, banked in by Jaquan Jackson. So the first half dominated by St. Francis, but it ends on a high note for East-West as Jackson banks home a half-court heave. And we will go into the break. St. Francis 54, East-West 35. I'll step aside here for the halftime segment, and back in about 15 minutes we'll have first half stats and get you ready for the second half of play here. St. Francis and East-West, the season opener at the Sullivan Center. So far, all Saints. It's halftime at the University of St. Francis, and we're just a minute away from the start of half number 2. So far, St. Francis has been pretty dominant, 54-35 they lead, and that dominance has started on the offensive end. Their shooting has been spectacular, 61% from the field. They're 6 of 13 on three-pointers. East-West has shot it well from the outside as well, 5 of 11 on threes, but they are just 8 of 23 from inside the arc, 38% overall. And as a result, St. Francis has been able to pull away. They've outscored East-West in the paint 26-10. So the Saints led by as many as 22. In fact, that lead came in the final seconds of the first half. East-West was able to cut it down to 19 thanks to a half-court buzzer beater from Jaquan Jackson. Jackson was the leading scorer for the Phantoms with 13 points, but he also turned it over 3 times. St. Francis was led by Carlos Tobias and Louis McGlasson, who scored 10 points each in the first half. E.J. Charles is currently on pace for a double-double with 8 points and 5 rebounds, and Rehana Maxwell-Topia came off the bench to lead the team with 4 assists in that first half. Just really good play all around for the Fighting Saints. They have dominated the boards 25-12. They have out-rebounded East-West so far today, and they've got their starters on the floor as we begin the second half. The Phantoms come out with their starters out there as well, led by Jaquan Jackson, who played all 20 minutes in the first half. This is Tarazay Dobbs, who hands it off to Caleb Thomas. Thomas from the right elbow, jumper rattles home. As they did in the first half, East-West strikes first in the second half of action. They score back-to-back buckets thanks to the half quarter at the end of the first half. Carlos Tobias is bumped away from the basket, and we've got an early foul called here. We didn't have a foul called until about 10 minutes into the first half, and we got an early one right here. In the entirety of the first half, we saw a grand total of just 6 personal fouls, 3 on each team. East-West was able, in terms of game time, to score 5 points in the span of about 20 seconds without St. Francis touching the ball. So a 22-point game is down to 17, but back up to 19 on a Joey Bujemi layup. Nicely drawn up play for the Fighting Saints. Off the inbounds pass, Bujemi's able to lay it in. Here's Jaquan Jackson. Jackson dribbles right, pull-up jumper, falls for Jaquan Jackson. Jackson's got 15 for East-West. He leads all scorers. Tobias bounces it to the free throw line. Lewis Holy out to Russell Tillery. Tillery passes to Tobias, left wing, down into the post. It's Lewis Holy. Holy backs in, kicks it out to Charles for 3. Got it. That was not a big part of his game last year, but E.J. Charles did show from time to time that he could step back and hit a three-pointer. He did it right there, first time he's done it today. And now Charles has a team-high 11 points to go along with his team-leading 5 rebounds. Here's Caleb Thomas looking down low for Dobbs. Gets it to Dobbs, who scores over Lewis Holy. Nice play by Dobbs for his second bucket of the game. Excuse me, that's 3 baskets for Dobbs now, 7 points. Tobias works his way inside and travels. Phantoms are able to force a turnover. 18-point lead for St. Francis, just about 2 minutes into the second half, and it's East-West basketball. Jackson dribbles to the left side, steps into a three-pointer and misses it. Rebound goes to Baez. Baez pass deflected, loose on the floor and picked up by Holy. Bujemi has it poked away by DeMel Dallas, but the Saints get it back. Joey Bujemi bumped by Dallas along the sideline, and a foul is called on DeMel Dallas. Joey Bujemi inbounds it to E.J. Charles up top. Charles looks to his right, now looks left. Can't find any help. He's in some trouble and finally dribbles away from a 5-second call. Passed off to Russell Tillery. Tillery up top, step back, three-pointer. a little bit short. Holy comes flying in for the rebound. His chance is blocked by Baez, but on the second opportunity, he puts it in. So an offensive rebound for Holy, and he's able to score on his second shot. Lewis Holy has got 6 points, 4 rebounds now. Lead is back to 20. Caleb Thomas on the runner, floats it in. 9 points for Caleb Thomas. Charles off to Bajemi, left side. Joey Bajemi lobs it in for Charles. The alley-oop does not go. Pass a little bit behind Charles right there. Didn't quite lead him to the hoop. Here's Jackson on the drive, other end. Lays it up with the right hand from the left side. And that's 17 points for Jaquan Jackson. Beautiful drive there. Jackson pokes it away from Tillery, who gets it back. Russell Tillery drives inside, contact. The ball is lost out of bounds off the leg of Russell Tillery. I think Tillery may have been asking for a foul, or he may have just been complaining that the ball was deflected out of bounds. In either case, he wasn't happy that East-West was granted possession here. But the Phantoms can put a dent into this lead. It was up to 22. It's down to 16 now. And the Phantoms, with the deficit, have the ball back. Holy jumps the passing lane, takes it away. Ahead for Tillery, and that ball is taken away by Josh Atwood. Down the other end, Tobias takes it away. Back-to-back-to-back steals, and Saints come up on top of possession here. Tillery drives, blocked, but a foul call. We've seen a very different second half so far. Just 6 total turnovers, or 6 total fouls called, rather, in the first half. We've already seen 3 here in the second. 10 total turnovers in the first half. And we have seen 6 already in the second half. Tillery misses on the first free throw. How about that last sequence where we saw 3 turnovers in the span of about 3 seconds? Holy intercepted a pass. His pass was intercepted by Atwood, and then Atwood's pass was intercepted by Tobias. Russell Tillery makes 1 of 2 from the line. 4 points. Now you can make it 5 for Russell Tillery. Jackson slows things down. Jaquan Jackson backs it up to half court. Passes to the top of the key, Caleb Thomas. Thomas picks up his dribble outside. Here's Jackson faking the 3. He drives on Tobias, pulls up in the paint, kicks it to Thomas with the shot clock down to 1. Caleb Thomas knocks down the 14-footer. Turns into a beautiful possession for East-West as they score with time running out. Here's E.J. Charles over to Russell Tillery on the right wing. Tillery lobs it down low for Holy. Holy backs it on Baez. Up with the left hand, blocked by Baez. East-West takes it back the other way. Thomas's pass to the right side is to Jackson. Open 3, misses. And the rebound goes to Charles. Now the Saints want to run. Tillery into a double team, stripped and fouled by Dobbs, I believe. Unless they got Thomas from behind. They did get Thomas from behind. So 2 shots coming up here for Russell Tillery, who made 1 of 2 just a moment ago. Saints win in a halftime with 54 points. On pace to zoom past that 100-point mark. First free throw misses. They're no longer on pace to do that, although they're not far off the pace. Tillery is struggling from the line here. He's missed 2 of 3. As Carter Fahey comes on for Lewis Holy. And Tillery gets 1 more shot. He's just 1 of 4 from the line, but Charles grabs the rebound, has it stripped and taken away. Here comes Jackson the other direction. Jackson layup over Fahey is good. Jaquan Jackson has been very impressive with the ball in his hands. He's up to 18 points now, and that forces Ryan Marks to call a timeout as the lead has dripped down to 13. It was 22 at one point, and now just 62 to 49 with 14:50 to play in the second half. St. Francis has turned the ball over 4 times this half after committing just 5 turnovers in the entire first half. They're still shooting the ball well. Not necessarily at the blistering pace they were at before, but because of the turnovers, they haven't had as many opportunities. They're 3 of 6 from the field so far this half. Just 1 of 4 on free throws so far this half. All of those from Tillery. And out of the timeout, it's inbounded to Tillery, who gets it right back to E.J. Charles. Charles walks across half court and passes back to his point guard. Tillery to Bujemi on the left side. Lob down low for Charles. This time they finish it off. Bujemi to Charles on the alley-oop. They tried that just a couple of possessions ago, and the pass was a little bit behind Charles. He was able to make the catch, but not able to finish it. This time, it's right on the mark. E.J. Charles has 13 points. Step back jumper for Baez from the corner is too long and knocked out of bounds on the rebound by Divine Connolly. Possession goes to the Fighting Saints. Tillery passes to Charles over to the left side to Baez. Down to the corner, this is Joey Bujemi. Bujemi gets the screen, moves out to the left wing. Bounce down low to Fahey. Fahey working against Conley. Nice dish to Tillery, who can't finish. Contact, but no foul. Rebound goes to East-West. Jaquan Jackson walks it across half court. Jackson crosses over to the right. Picked up by Fahey, bounces to the cutting Baez, who finishes at the rim. Good ball work there by East-West. 13-point game once again as Tillery finds Charles on the outside. To the free throw line, it's Fahey. Back outside, E.J. Charles. Charles to the left elbow, and Carter Fahey lob back down to the cutting Charles, and he's fouled going up. E.J. Charles will get 2 free throws here. Nice give and go right there with Charles and Fahey. A good pass from Fahey off a very strong cut from E.J. Charles, and it gets him to the free throw line. Foul shooting was not a strength of Charles's game last year, but he makes his first today. Lewis McGlasson checks in for Joey Bujemi. McGlasson led the team with 10 points and 9 minutes off the bench in the first half. Rihanna Maxwell Topia is at the scorer's table as well, apparently to come in for E.J. Charles if he makes this free throw. And he does. 15 points for Charles. Maxwell Topia comes in. Caleb Thomas takes over the point guard duties for East-West. He bounces over to Jaquan Jackson. Jackson drives with the left hand, picks up his dribble, shovels down low where it's intercepted by Carter Fahey. Fahey works it ahead to Tillery. Layup is blocked, but a foul call. 2 free throws. Tillery wanted a goaltend in addition to the foul. He does not get that call, but he will get a chance to redeem himself from the foul line after missing 3 of his first 4 there. Tillery's got 5 points for the game, 4 assists and a steal. He misses his 4th free throw of the game. Darius Wright is in for Carlos Tavares. So Tillery is the only starter who remains on the floor for the Saints. Tillery finally puts one in. 7 points for the senior guard. 16-point lead for the Saints. Jaquan Jackson trips across half court but keeps his dribble. Gets it right back from Baez, and they can restart the possession here. Only 10 on the shot clock now, though. Jackson bounces towards Atwood, and it's through the legs of Atwood, taken away, and now a travel called on Lewis McGlasson as he got ahead of himself after receiving the pass. Caleb Thomas came streaking in. McGlasson wasn't prepared for it, and so he took a step. Jaquan Jackson working slowly again to the right side, guarded loosely by Russell Tillery. Up top to Caleb Thomas. Thomas, step back three-pointer is short. Rebound tapped by Fahey into the hands of Tillery. Russell Tillery on the move, back to Fahey. Fahey thought about stepping into that shot. Instead he drives and kicks to McGlasson, an open shooter, but the ball kicked off his hands and out of bounds. So a couple of mistakes here by Lewis McGlasson, who was so good in the first half. And the Saints have turned it over on back-to-back possessions. Jackson across the timeline to the right side. He stands on the far sideline, picks up his dribble and bounces down low to Baez. Baez working on Fahey, up with the right hand, off the back iron, no good. Rebound tapped out to the backcourt and chased down by Jaquan Jackson, who resets the possession with 20 on the shot clock. Jackson walks it up to the three-point line, driving on Tillery. On the floor, he is fouled by Carter Fahey. Fahey grabbed him on the floor, so no shot. Dov Gerner comes in for Russell Tillery. So once again, the Saints play with 5 subs. Baez inbounds it, gets it right back from Atwood and knocks down the corner jumper. 2-point shot there for Baez. Actually, it is a 3, so a 13-point game. Three-pointer for Darius Wright is good for the answer. Well, now they are fixing the scoreboard. It was a 2-pointer on the other end. So the Saints trade 2 for 3 on their end, and their lead is 17 points. They've led by as many as 22. That was in the first half. Here's Caleb Thomas bouncing to a cutting Dobbs. Dobbs mishandled the ball initially, got it back, and from an awkward angle, he misses off the glass. Here's Rihanna Maxwell-Topia on the other end. Weaves through traffic, misses on the layup, and in a fight for the rebound, a foul is called on St. Francis and Darius Wright. It's only the second foul on the Fighting Saints, who themselves are in the bonus. Jackson lobs it across the midcourt line to Dobbs. Handoff back to Jackson. Jackson at the top, dribbling in with the left hand, slips and flips it up and scores. Jaquan Jackson, as he was falling to the ground, was able to flip that ball to the basket and get it to drop in. Nice touch by Jackson. He's got 21 points. Here comes Fahey. Steps into a jumper, no good, gets his own rebound. Back up amidst traffic, he's fouled. Two free throws here for Carter Fahey with the University of St. Francis leading by 15 points. Their lead has been in double digits the entire second half. Fahey's first free throw attempt misses short. Free throws have not been a strong suit of the Fighting Saints today. They are 4 of 9 as a team. Second foul shot is good. Fahey's got 3 points. That was kicked by Darius Wright. Shot clock at 20 for East-West. They'll start it over from the sideline. Lewis Holy is in for Carter Fahey. Jackson lobs it in for Dobbs, and Dobbs is fouled by Rihanna Maxwell-Topia. Darius Wright came streaking in on the pass, trying to take it away. He was not able to, though, and Maxwell-Topia was not able to hold position against Dobbs. Third foul of the half on the Fighting Saints. Inbounded to Dobbs once again. Dobbs lowers his shoulder, drives, and misses off the rim. Here comes Wright. Wright down the far sideline, cuts his way to the baseline, misses on the runner. Lewis Holy is there to grab the offensive rebound. Saints working around the perimeter. It's Gerner to Holy at the free throw line. Lewis Holy looking for help. Gerner was on the ground, and he's fouled. So Gerner will go to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. He was fouled away from the ball. He'll get a chance for his first points of the game. Despite the sudden uptick in fouls called against East-West, nobody's got more than 2 for them, so nobody's in trouble. Gerner connects on the first free throw. He'll get one more. First point of the game for Nadav Gerner. He becomes the 11th Saint to score tonight. Very balanced attack for the Fighting Saints. Second shot is good as well. So after making just 4 of 9 free throws as a team, they've hit on 3 in a row. Give them a little more respectable percentage. Jackson gets it across half court. Gerner sticks with him. Pull-up jumper from the elbow is good. Jaquan Jackson stays hot. 23 points for the junior guard. Here's Lewis McGlasson on the left wing. His pass is intercepted. And he takes it right back from Jaquan Jackson. McGlasson is blocked from behind. Holy misses on the second chance. Third chance, misses again. Diving on the floor, Gerner comes away with the offensive rebound. The Saints try it again. McGlasson from the corner. 3-ball, misses. Another offensive rebound. Rayhana Maxwell-Topia. Here's Nadav Gerner backing up and resetting things. 13 on the shot clock. Lewis Holy high post. Finds Maxwell-Topia. 5 to shoot. He drives. Layup. No good, and an offensive foul called to boot. Saints got 5 chances on that possession. Couldn't make any of them work. Ryan Marks, I think, thought he was in the circle when he took the contact there. But that's not the call. It is an offensive foul. 16-point game. Saints are just 5 of 13 from the field this half, but they come up with a steal here as Holy takes away the pass. Rayhana Maxwell-Topia into Holy, layup, no, but he's fouled. 5 of 13 from the field after they shot 61% in the first half, and just the number of attempts is notable too. 38 in the first half, and only 13 here in the second. First half was a much faster paced half of basketball. We are down to our final 8.5 minutes here, and timeout is called. 73-57. St. Francis has the lead. Lewis Holy is at the free throw line for 2 shots coming out of the break. Holy has padded the stat sheet today. He's really filled it up and down. No stats necessarily jump out at you as gaudy, but 6 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals. So he's done a little bit of everything. I guess those 4 steals kind of flash a little bit, kind of gaudy. But in terms of scoring, rebounding, hasn't lit it up. He's just been solid. E.J. Charles leads the team in both of those categories. 15 points, 7 boards. He's been on the bench for a while now. Sure we'll see him again pretty soon unless the Saints are able to go on a run and put this one out of hand. Or in hand. Out of East-West's hand, out of their reach. Working my way through as many English language expressions as I can find here. It is a 16-point lead, so it's not quite in hand yet for St. Francis, but they're feeling pretty good about where they stand with 8.5 minutes to play. East-West comes out of the timeout with Dobbs, Jackson, Jaquan Pearson, Divine Conley, and Baez. Saints come out with McGlasson, Wright, Tobias, Maxwell-Topia, and Lewis Holy, who's shooting 2 free throws. Very young team at East-West. More than half their roster is made up of freshmen, and that's not unusual for this Phantoms team, as Holy makes the first free throw. Tommy Posley's been coaching at East West for a lot of years, and he turns over his roster each season pretty much. Holy misses on the second free throw. That snaps a string of 4 straight makes from the line for the Saints. Jaquan Jackson dribbles to the right, passes off to Dobbs on the left side. Dobbs drives on Maxwell Topia. Step back two-pointer is good. Here's Maxwell Topia spinning around Dobbs, gets inside the three-point arc and bounces back outside before the handoff to Carlos Tobias. Tobias into the corner. McGlasson winds up for 3, in and out. Rebound tipped by Holy, but can't get it to go. And Dobbs comes away with it. Inside, it's Conley. Divine Conley kicks it out to Jackson, and they reset from the right side. Dobbs tries a 3, well short. Rebounded by Wright. Darius Wright on the move quickly. Wright slows it down. Looks inside for Holy. Didn't have positioning. Wright made the pass attempt anyway, and it's taken away by Jaquan Pearson. Pearson fires it to Jackson in the corner. Steps to his left. Fires a 3 and misses it. Rebounded by Wright. East-West not shooting nearly as high a percentage today as St. Francis. They've made things difficult for themselves as McGlasson misses another 3. That's 3 misses in a row from him. Maxwell Topia is called for the foul. The degree of difficulty on the East-West shots has been notable today. Much tougher than St. Francis's shots have been. Bujemi, Tillery, and Charles are back in the game, so all 5 starters are on the floor for the Fighting Saints. Pearson bounces into Dobbs. Dobbs backing in on Charles, faces the hoop and misses the jumper. Another tough shot for Dobbs. Here comes Tillery. Tillery between 2 defenders into the corner for Bujemi. Joey Bujemi drives, pulls up, close range, misses it short. East-West on the move. Conley, open look from 3-point range. Rims out. Rebound to Holy. All of a sudden, a lot of missed shots in this game. Saints will try to change that on this possession. Tobias has a wide open look, and Tobias knocks it down. First points of the second half for Carlos Tobias, who's now 3 of 4 from long range. He was almost too open that time. Sometimes you worry when a guy has that much time to shoot. But he didn't overthink it. He's got 13 points. The lead is 18. Drive from Jackson. Layup is good. 25 for Jaquan Jackson. He leads both teams in points. Tillery to Charles. Over to Bujemi. Another good shooter for St. Francis. This one's too strong, though. As the ball is rebounded by Conley, time is called. Jaquan Jackson lost his shoe on the other end of the floor, so he'll retrieve it before we continue here. Lewis Holy checks out for the Saints. Jalen Bates is back in. Bates played 5 minutes in the first half, scored 2 points and 3 shots. Eleven different Fighting Saints have found the scoreboard today. Bates is one of them. Everybody on the floor right now has scored. Baez for 3, no good. Battle for the rebound, won by Conley. He scores, and a foul called on E.J. Charles. Divine Conley, a freshman off the bench, fought hard for that rebound and fought hard to put it back up and get the contact. Free throw is good. It's a 3-point play, and now just a 13-point game. 5:39 to play. This one has felt comfortable for St. Francis for a long time, but it's not over. East-West has outscored them by 6 in this second half. Charles moves the baseline, finds Tillery in the corner, right back to E.J. Charles. Ahead to Carlos Tobias, and the Saints break the press. Carlos Tobias takes it all the way in himself and lays it in. with some contact as well. Nice play by Carlos Tobias, who now has matched E.J. Charles' team high with 15 points. Jackson for three, it's good. Jaquan Jackson remains very impressive for the Phantoms. Russell Tillery is fouled. Overly aggressive defense from Jaquan Pearson. East-West is over the limit. Double bonus for the Saints here. So Tillery will get 2 free throws. First one is good. One more coming for Russell Tillery, who has struggled from the line today, but he's made 2 in a row. And he's made 3 in a row now. 81-67 our score now. Saints lead is 14. Here comes Pearson. Pearson is fouled in the backcourt by Russell Tillery. .503 on the clock. A little back and forth between East-West and St. Francis's benches here. Tommy Posley not too happy with Ryan Marks at the moment. The two never directly exchanged words there. Jaquan Pearson's going to get 1 and 1 from the line. That was the 7th foul on the Saints. Free throw, no good. And so the Saints are able to take over. Charles gets the rebound. Here comes Tillery. Tillery out to Tobias. 3-pointer, no good this time. Tobias had made 3 of his first 4 from beyond the arc. Under 5 minutes to play. East-West trying to make one last run at this thing here. Jackson has it poked away from behind by Joey Bujemi and knocked out of bounds. Inbounds play coming up for the Phantoms. Luis Baez and Taraze Dobbs are back in. E.J. Charles steals the inbounds pass. Now the Saints have numbers. Charles fouled on his way up. And Charles will get 2 free throws. The Saints want 2 free throws and the ball back. But they will not get that call. It's just a regular personal foul. And Charles will try to help put this thing away from the line. First foul shot misses. The Saints, though, are in the double bonus now. Charles is 2 rebounds away from a double-double. He's got 15 points, 8 boards today. Misses both free throws, and the rebound goes to Pearson. Now East-West tries to run. Pearson sends it behind him to the trailing Devine Conley. Back outside and around to the left. Drive from Jackson, pull-up jumper is no good. Rebound poked around and finally brought in by Jalen Bates. Here's Tillery out to Bujemi. Open look from the outside. Bujemi cannot connect on the 3. Offensive rebound, Bates. Bujemi sends it into Bates. Off his hands, gets it back, shoots, and scores. Jalen Bates has his 2nd bucket of the game. Final 4 minutes here. Saints continue to increase their lead. Dobbs inside, fights it up against Charles and can't finish. Tobias out to Tillery. Tillery tries the 3, no good. Rebound Bujemi. Offensive rebounds continue to be a boon for the Saints. Tobias misses on the 3. And a loose ball foul is called on Charles. 17 offensive rebounds for St. Francis today. They have led to 17 second chance points. And they have out-rebounded East-West today overall 47-27. In fact, they've out-rebounded them by 20. They've outshot them 50% to 44%. By just those numbers alone, you would think the Saints should have a bigger lead than they do, but up by 16, still in pretty good shape at this point as Jackson makes it a 15-point game with the first free throw. Jaquan Jackson is now up to 29 points for the night. Lewis Holy is back in for the St. Francis Fighting Saints. Kurt Shannon on the floor for the East-West Phantoms. Both free throws good from Jackson. He's got 30. Charles in a trap, passes out to Tillery, and they get it across half court to Tobias. Carlos Tobias drives, kicks, pass deflected, but tipped into the hands of Charles. Holy back out to Joey Bujemi. Bujemi, another open look, and this time he gets it to go. Joey Bujemi hits on his third three-pointer of the night. Jackson stripped. Bujemi knocks it off of Conley, out of bounds. Nice play by Joey Bujemi, both ends of the floor. The three-pointer on one end, good awareness to knock that ball off of Conley on the defensive side. So the Saints' lead now is 17 as we enter the final minutes. Bujemi's got another open look, and it's good. East-West has left a lot of open shooters today, and the Saints have been streaky from beyond the arc, but they're hot right now. And now shooting at 42% from three-point range in the game. The lead is back to 20, and this is as big as it's been in the second half. Biggest lead of the game was 22 late in the first half. Conley answers with a three-pointer for East-West. And a timeout called by Tommy Posley from the Phantom sideline. 89-72, 2:41 to play in this game, and St. Francis has a comfortable 17-point lead, led now by Joey Bujemi's 16 points. But credit to the Phantoms for hanging in there. This game looked like it could have been over early in the second half, the way that the Saints went on a run late in the first stanza, pushing the lead up to 22 just before halftime. But East-West never went on a big run here in the second half. They kept chipping away. They got to as close as 12 at one point. It was 13 several times, but they never got it down to single digits. And so St. Francis has had a relatively comfortable lead most of the way. Three Saints are in double figures. Bujemi's got 16 points. Charles and Tobias each have 15, and actually Lewis McGlasson has got 10 as well. So four Saints are in double figures. Russell Tillery just behind at 8. Tillery from the baseline inbounds it to Charles. Right back to Tillery, and Charles and Tillery play the two-man game across half court. Hand off to Bujemi. Had a deep look that time, elected not to take the shot, guarded by Jamel Dallas. Dallas knocks it away, Bujemi sticks with it, keeps it in bounds, but deflects it right over to Jaquan Pearson, who gets the steal. Pearson is fouled by Tillery. Big block by Tillery, fired up his bench, but he's called for the foul. I think he might have gotten him with the body. So Kurt Shannon is at the line for two here. And he misses on the first free throw. An impressive block by Tillery, even though the foul was called. He made Shannon earn the points from the line, was not able to earn the first one. See if he can earn 1 point. He cannot. And what do we have here? A whistle. Lane violation against St. Francis. Now Lewis Holy is called for the lane violation. Timeout called by St. Francis with 2:17 to go. Shannon will get another free throw coming out of this 30-second stoppage. East-West 7 of 10 as a team from the line today. St. Francis has shot it at 60% from the free throw line. Saints have been in control most of the way here. East-West, mentioned before, has a lot of new players on this team, as they do most seasons. They don't have a full athletics department at East-West, which is located in the South Loop of Chicago, but they do have a basketball team that they're able to, I was going to say to field, I guess they don't play on a field, they're able to court each year. Tommy Posley really has done a good job of keeping that program going. But they don't have a conference. They kind of float through the city of Chicago, taking on all comers. And they make trips out to Joliet each year. They were very good here last season, playing in a 2-day event, coming up with a win in that. And they were competitive in both of their games here. But this year, the return trip to St. Francis is not as effective so far. We've got 2 minutes and 17 seconds to turn that around, but as I mentioned before, they really have not looked bad in this second half after falling behind by 20-plus points in the first. They've kept things respectable here in the second. So a third chance for Kurt Shannon. And he makes this one. Missed the first 2 chances, but lane violation on the second one gave him new life, and he makes 1 of 3. Here's Charles for St. Francis, beating the press, giving it off to Holy. Now bounced over to Tobias. Tobias gets inside and lays it in. 17 for Carlos Tobias. Jackson drives the other way, taking it in on Charles. Scores his 31st and 32nd points of the game. Tobias is intercepted. Taken away by Jaha Jackson. 3-pointer for Conley misses. Rebound right back to Jackson. Knocked out of his hands. Out of bounds. Last touch by the Saints. Minute 45 to play. Jaquan Jackson inbounds it to Jaha Jackson. And he is tied up. Possession arrow faces the Fighting Saints. Charles set to inbound. Finds Joey Bajemi. Right back to E.J. Charles underneath the basket. East-West pressure has given some trouble to St. Francis in the second half, but they're able to get it across half court. Charles bounces to the right and gives it off to Bajemi. Russell Tillery back at half court with 15 to shoot. Lewis Holy, guarded by Donnell Dallas, takes it inside and lays it in. 9 points for Lewis Holy. Very quickly on the other end, it's Shannon. Shannon blocked by E.J. Charles, who comes down with the rebound. Charles has got his 10th rebound of the night, and that's a double-double for him. Lewis Holy stripped by Daquan Jackson. Jackson takes it in. Holy blocks him from behind. Rebound picked up by Conley, and he's blocked by Holy. Back-to-back blocks. Lewis Holy, and the Saints will take some time off the clock here in the final minute. Tillery loses the ball, gets it right back. Bajemi in the corner, 3-pointer, undefended, can't get it. Charles comes in for the rebound. Back to Bajemi, 3-pointer, missed it again. Offensive rebound, Tillery, his putback misses. 3 chances for the Saints there, they can't finish. Half a second differentiates the shot and game clocks here. Jackson doesn't worry about the shot clock, fires up a quick 3 and misses. Charles grabs the rebound but travels on his way down. So now, well, they've got 0.7 of a second differentiating the shot and game clock now, but I think Charles did have possession there. He had to have to be able to travel. So the shot clock should be off on the change of possession. A substitution confusion here for East-West. Ready to go. Quick jumper misses from Zion Washington. Saints come away with the rebound, and now if they can get it across half court, they can just dribble it out. Tillery does get across half court. East-West keeps the defense on. Conley guarding Tillery. So with 3 seconds on the clock, Tillery is able to finish it out. And there's your ball game, 93-75, the final score. St. Francis defeats East-West University in their season opener. And the Saints improved to 1-0 to open up the season. A weird game in some ways. The first half just flew by. There were no stoppages aside from one timeout called for the first 7.5 minutes. No turnovers, no fouls called. The game just kept going up and down the floor. Great shooting, especially from the Saints. They ended up building a 22-point lead in that first half. The entire first half took about 20 minutes, or excuse me, about 30 minutes of actual time. 20 minutes of game time played out in about 30 minutes of real time. And then the second half, things slowed down quite a bit. A little bit more choppy, a lot more turnovers, a lot more fouls. We saw 31 total free throws in this game, and only 7 of them came in the first half. So the second half played a lot differently, but in the end, St. Francis was able to hold off any East-West charge. The Phantoms did outscore the Saints in the second half, but they had built up enough of a lead that they were never really threatened in the second half. Some of the final totals today: Saints shot 51%, 42 for the Phantoms. From three-point range, 39% for St. Francis, 32% for East-West. The Saints out-rebounded the Phantoms 52-30, just dominant in that department. E.J. Charles finished with a double-double, 15 points, 12 rebounds. Lewis Holy nearly joined him. 9 points, 9 rebounds for him. He also had 3 assists and 4 steals. Joey Bajemi had 16 points. Carlos Tavias led the team with 17 points on 7 of 11 shooting. The leading scorer of the game today was Daquan Jackson, who had 32 on 12 of 23 shooting for East-West. He also had 4 assists and 4 steals today. But the Saints were scarcely threatened in this one. Led by as many as 22 in the first half, 19 at halftime. They end up holding on for an 18-point win, 93-75 over East-West. So this brief little sojourn into non-conference play to start the season nets the Saints their first victory. They will begin conference play later this week on the road at Calumet St. Joe's on Wednesday, and then at home, their next home game will be on Saturday, and that'll be a 7 o'clock start time. You can find it right here through the GoFightingSaints.com website and the Fighting Saints YouTube channel as well. So make sure you go to GoFightingSaints.com for all of your St. Francis updates as they try to remain unbeaten throughout this week. That'll do it for today's broadcast. Thanks for tuning in. The Saints begin their season 1-0 with a 93-75 victory over East-West University. Until next time, this is Terry Bonadonna signing off from Joliet, Illinois. Enjoy the rest of your Monday evening.